Well, out 1 to 5 years, and we're experiencing it right now, I think a major trend is a change in the platforms that the users want to receive their information on. It certainly is no longer just paper and PDF, or even websites for that matter. Tablet computers have taken off with incredible success. Smartphones, anything from the Droid to the iPhone, are becoming better, much more readable. I have a Kindle reader, and I've read 6 novels on my smartphone. A quick anecdote about how much that's changed. I had a nonstop flight to the Boston event, nonstop from Portland, Oregon to Boston. And a couple times when I went to the rear of the plane and came back, I was really kind of shocked to notice the difference from a year ago that 2 out of 3 people were reading either on a tablet or a handheld device. One to the point where there was actually a grandmother who was looking at Time magazine with stories about the people who are protesting the economy in the streets, but she was fact-checking with her smartphone, looking at live Twitter feeds. How do I see Adobe involved in this? Very, very effectively, particularly with TechCom Suite, because TechCom Suite makes it very simple to actually embed either video or screen capture or a Captivate video, etc. And coming from the language translation industry, this is very important to me because many of my customers currently create 13 to 15 screen captures, 13 to 15 pages. They can now collapse all that information into one square that somebody clicks on, and in 30 seconds they see the entire process. Looking out to the next 5 years or so, I believe the trends include smaller delivery platforms, which would be tablets and smartphones. I think one trend we've already reached is both DITA and XML. It's imperative that the information be saved in that format, and also that it be extremely simple to use from the end user. The way that Adobe intersects with this is, of course, TechCom Suite allows people to very swiftly edit XML with what feels and looks like a regular document, and to very quickly and simply embed video. And then publishing via RoboHelp, they can go to EPUBs, they can go to HTML, Eclipse Help, or many different forms from a single set of files. I believe there are several things that make Adobe quite unique and different in this space. Obviously, being a huge $6 billion company, it's a company that's not going away. It has an incredible amount of resources. I think another one is that Adobe has been very astute and wise over the years in the companies that they've acquired. They acquired Frame Technology, which was best of breed for tech pubs. They also acquired a very powerful help generation system, RoboHelp. And they've made incredible improvements to both of these products. They're dramatically better than they were before they were acquired by Adobe. But more importantly, they have tied these products together in a very unique way where they work seamlessly together and almost invisibly. So I think that, to me, I think the biggest thing Adobe has done is to carefully select the right set of tools and create a suite of tools that were really aimed at the tech pubs or the technical content creators, which very closely parallels what Adobe had already successfully done for the creative space with Creative Suite. Well, my key takeaways from the event is, number one, that the audience in both cities, the participants, I felt were much further along than I might have expected. I have been with some other groups before where people are thinking about getting into DITA or they're thinking about getting into XML. Nearly everybody has already started that process. They realize they have no choice. This is a place that they have to go. Another thing that I also discovered that was not too much of a surprise, but it was helpful to me, there are still a small group of people who I think have what I would call a dated or a false impression of the product. They remember a much older version of FrameMaker that perhaps was not quite as capable as it is now, and many people remember what RoboHelp was like under Macromedia. So there have been a couple people that maybe looked at the product closely 5 years ago, and they have no idea how swift and dramatic the improvements have been from the developers in India. So I think that was a major eye-opener to me, was people thought, wow, this product is way ahead of where I thought it was, because maybe they looked at it 4 years ago. Well, another takeaway for me was that working for a translation company, I work with a product every day with a variety of different workloads, and I presented a case study that showed something quite dramatic that really used the most advanced features of the product. I think what was a big surprise to a lot of the participants was, number one, how easy the process was, how much it has been improved over the years, that there are far fewer steps required, the user interface has been tremendously improved. There are a number of people out there who think they're familiar with FrameMaker or they think they're familiar with RoboHelp because they had a lot of hands-on with the product maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I think it's really been within the last 5 to 6 years that the most dramatic development has taken place. One quick thing I will say is I think the reason is because the developers in India frequently travel around the world and meet the users face-to-face rather than just through remote surveys. They are very aware of people's needs, and I have found them to be extremely responsive in improving the product along the lines that people wish it to go.